Okay, time being 7 o'clock, I'll declare this meeting open. Town of Walkerville would like to acknowledge the Kaurna people as the traditional custodians of the land we are meeting on today and respect their spiritual relationship with their country. We recognise the many generations of stewardship the Kaurna people have provided to this land and respect that their cultural heritage and beliefs are as important today as they were for their ancestors. Present, we have everyone there as set out on the screen with an apology from Councillor Trotter. And we have a couple of leave of absences coming up, but we'll deal with those as they come. Item 3 is the confirmation of minutes. Item 3.1, that the Eastern Health Authority meeting minutes of the 17th of March 2026 be received and noted. That's moved by Councillor Allenson, seconded by Councillor Zeppel. All those in favour? That's carried. Item 3.2, that the Ordinary Council meeting minutes of the 20th of April 2026 be confirmed as a true and accurate record of proceedings. It's moved by Councillor Zeppel and seconded by Councillor Vanstone. All those in favour? Councillor Allenson, are you in favour? Yep, thanks. That's carried. Item 3.3, that the Special Council meeting minutes of the 21st of April 26 be confirmed as true and accurate record of proceedings. That's moved by Councillor Corr, seconded by Councillor Allenson. All those in favour? That's carried. Item 3.4, that the Special Audit and Risk Committee meeting minutes of the 22nd of April 2026 be received and noted. That's moved by Councillor Vanstone. Is there a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Allenson, thank you. All those in favour? That is carried. Item 3.5, that the Special Council meeting minutes of the 27th of April 2026 be confirmed as true and accurate. That's moved by Councillor Allenson, seconded by Councillor Zeppel. All those in favour? That is carried. Item 3.6, that the Special Council meeting minutes of the 30th of April 2026 be confirmed as a true and accurate record of the proceedings. Thank you. That's moved by Councillor Vanstone and seconded by Councillor Corr. All those in favour? That is carried. Item 3.7, you'll note in your agenda that we are here, it says that we're going to confirm the meeting minutes of the 4th of May, but actually that was an informal briefing session. So we've got a revised resolution on the screen that there was an unintentional error appearing in the agenda for this item 3.7, and it was effectively it was a briefing session, not a special council meeting. So there's nothing to confirm. So if someone's happy with that,
yeah.
Thank you. Councillor Deputy Mayor has moved that. So seconder, thank you, Councillor Zeppel. All those in favour? That is carried. And then 3.8, that the Error Water Board meeting minutes of the 5th of May 2026 be received and noted. Thank you. It's moved by Councillor Vanstone and seconded by Councillor Allenson. All those in favour? That is carried. Move on to item 4, which are the declarations of interest for this evening. Does anyone have a declaration of interest? Thank you, Councillor Williams.
Thank you, Mayor Jones. Actually, just before I do this, I'll say thanks to Adele for the automated form that we now fill in. It makes it a hell of a lot easier. And when I actually type something out as well, it also makes you think of other things. So thank you very much for that. But my general interest is in item 15.9, but only part of item 15.9. So the only part that I have a general interest in is the Walkerville Terrace upgrade. Although my business does not reside on Walkerville Terrace, and it's on Smith Street, it's in close proximity. So after speaking to the CEO, I believe it's best to declare a general interest. I'll participate in the meeting in relation to the matter. And I intend to remain in the chamber, participate and vote on the matter.
Thank you. Councillor Williams.
Oh, actually, there's another part too that I put in about the reason for participating. The outcome has an effect on a large proportion of the council area, and my history and knowledge of the street, along with its infrastructure and past upgrades, will be useful throughout the process.
Thank you. Are there any other declarations of interest for this evening? No? Okay, so moving on to item 5, business adjourned, there is none. Item 6, deputations, there are none. Item 7, petitions, there are none. Item 8 is the Mayor's Diary. If anyone has any questions on that, otherwise I'll look for a mover. Councillor Vanstone, seconded by Councillor Williams. All those in favour? That is carried. Item 9 is council member updates, but I'm going to start by inviting David Egar, President of the Adelaide Male Voice Choir, to formally present a certificate of acknowledgement to and thanks to the town of Walkerville, noting their generous ongoing support to the choir and use of the town of Walkerville facilities. So thank you, David.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, we have a photo? Yeah.
Oh, better turn it around the right way. Thank you.
Thank you. Would you like to say anything?
Very quickly, this singing is better than my public speaking.
Sing.
No piano here today. Adelaide Male Voice Choir has been going for 140 years. We're like most community choirs. We're funded by our members' subscriptions and our ticket sales we get, and have a support from the town of Walkerville and such we had for a number of years now. It's been fantastic. It helps us to keep alive, helps us to continue on supporting the arts ourselves. Our choir members have a couple of things they really like doing. One is they love to sing. The other is the camaraderie, and getting together is very important to us, because that's a lot of us, when we're getting a bit older, we don't have that social interaction. So there's a lot of things behind a choir that's not just us coming to perform. There's a lot of things that are really important, and the support just helps continue it on, and we're very thankful for that.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you. It's our pleasure to support an institution that's 140 years old. Going on for another 140 years.
Not with me.
140 years young, I think you said.
Could be, yes. Yeah, it was two world wars and the World War and a few others.
Wow.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other council members with an update? Deputy Mayor?
Yeah, just want to thank the staff for the ongoing support, obviously with the RSL for the Anzac Day service on the 25th. Got really good feedback around the scoreboard as well being used. Obviously not a lot of people down there, but it's just nice that it was able to be used visually. Also on the 6th of the 5th, Eastern Business Advisory, just wanted to thank Council for its ongoing support. So there was the Connect, Celebrate and Grow event at Unley Oval on the 6th. It was good to bring all the councils together and the different business groups and mentors and mentees. The event had probably 140, 150 there, so it's actually good to see that it's grown, and it's a pretty good offering across the council. So they just wanted to thank us for our participation in it.
Thank you. Anyone else? No? Okay, so we have item 10, questions from the gallery, and there are none. Item 11, questions without notice. Does any council member have a question without notice? None. Item 12, questions with notice. There are none. Item 13, motions without notice. Does any council member have a motion without notice? There are none. There are no motions with notice at item 14, so we're at item 15, decision reports. Item 15.1 is the council resolution register. Are there any questions on this report? I'll look for someone to move it. It's moved by Councillor Core and seconded by Councillor Allenson. All those in favour? That's carried. Item 15.2, appointment of independent members of the Council Assessment Panel. Now this item is not in conference. If we want to go into discussion on any of the reasons behind the appointments, then I suggest we go into conference. So we'll start with seeing if Mohammed or Fiona have anything to add to the report.
No.
Are there questions on the report that warrant going into conference? Otherwise I'll look for a mover.
I'll move.
Thank you. Councillor Allenson, seconded by Councillor Zeppel. All those in favour? That's carried. Item 15.3 is a leave of absence request for Councillor Vanstone. The remover, thank you, Councillor Core. Seconder, Councillor Zeppel. All those in favour?
Second time.
That's carried. Item 15.4 is the appointment of a substitute voting delegate for the Local Government Association Ordinary Council meeting. So just for this one, I'm not able to attend and neither is the Deputy Mayor. There's no requirement for anyone from Council to attend and vote at this conference. It is $290 if someone wishes to attend. So if there is someone that wishes to attend, then we can insert their name here, but it's certainly not a requirement that anyone attends. So currently we have the recommendation that we will put someone in there, but we can change that to a recommendation that no one attends. Would someone like to move one way or the other?
I'll move that no one attend.
Okay, so I think that council doesn't send a voting delegate to the, yeah.
Not second that.
Seconded by Councillor Zeppel, so we'll just get that out there so we know what we're voting on. Oh, yeah, all those in favour? That's carried. Item 15.5, Safer Suburbs Grant Program. I think, Mohammed, we have a new application we just want to add into this, so would you like to give an update?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So after we compiled the agenda, we had a last minute another applicant, which was like from United Church, and they put their application. It was like, it meets the criteria, and therefore the number of application goes up than what's already reported in this report here. So that's for $500. So
their application is for $500 because they are
business and not-for-profit.
Business and not-for-profit. So I think the recommended resolution there has got them included in there. That's the red bit there for us to approve or not approve, but given the policy position, it's probably, anyway, I'll leave someone to approve one way or the other.
Just to seek a question if possible. So applications up to, it notes in point 3 that Council approves the policy to be obsolete from 1 July. So we'll be taking applications up until that date. Can I just seek just a clarification on that?
Through the Chair, that is correct.
Okay, so we might get a couple more of these coming back. All right.
Yeah.
It's a bit annoying when it comes from the church who doesn't pay any rates.
I'll move that we approve the grant funding. Along with 2, 3, 4.
Okay. So the move, yep, Councillor Anderson moved, we approve. Councillor Core has seconded that. Anyone else like to speak for or against the motion? Councillor Williams.
Thank you, Mayor Jones. I think probably in about the last 8 years, this is the second time that this has occurred and that we've looked to support particularly businesses along Walkerville Terrace for a period of time with CCTV and not had any uptake. So I think it's just perhaps a note to selves that if this does crop up again and there's some occurrence that that means council's considering it again, might want to just hold fort for a little while before we do and perhaps not knee-jerk, because I'm sure the same thing would happen again unless there's significantly different circumstances.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak for or against? Put it to the vote. All those in favour? Against? Carried. Item 15.6, 25-26 third quarter budget review. Mohammed, anything to add?
There has been an update because this report talked about the delay in receiving grant funding for the open space project, which is Walkerville Open Space. But I can confirm that grant payment was made last Saturday. So we have received the funds now.
Cool.
Great, thank you. Any questions on this report? Okay, the remover. Thank you, Councillor Core. Seconder. Councillor Zeppel. All those in favour? That's carried. Item 15.7, Walkerville Oval Old Scoreboard Demolition. James, anything to add?
Through the chair, just that we haven't finalised all the costings yet. However, we are expected to be within the ranges provided in the report. And Council may recall we workshopped this a couple of Mondays ago.
Any questions on this report? Councillor Williams.
Not questions so much on the report or the scoreboard, more that when I looked at the pictures that were provided in the report, which were great, is the area between the gutter and where I guess there's almost a step up toward the scoreboard, that the council at this point in time doesn't do anything with that area, because I know as part of the sports club process we've been through on a number of occasions, there's always been a desire from the community to have a path that runs the whole way around the oval for walking, like a walking track like most ovals do, when they've got the space. So rather than doing anything there, like putting a lawn down and finding it 12 months' time, we're just going to rip it up anyway, because we want to run a path the whole way around. That would be the logical spot to continue the path around that side, is on the outside of that gutter. It may be trickier around the car park once we get to that, but what I'm really saying is just don't touch that area in front of it, otherwise it's just going to be wasted money.
Through the chair, yeah, that's fine. And I think with the design work with Walkerville Sports Club that council will be looking at, will consider access around the oval as well.
Beautiful.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, I'll look for a mover. Councillor Zeppel, seconded by Councillor Allenson. All those in favour? Carried. Item 15.8 is a leave of absence request from Councillor Trusher. Thank you. That's moved by Councillor Zeppel, seconded by Councillor Vanstone. All those in favour? Carried. Item 15.9 is the major projects status report. Now, I just want to say here in the recommendation that I did talk to Mohammed about this, and I was finding these reports very repetitive because we're not really doing much, and we had a resolution that asked for monthly reports. I think if once we're in a construction phase, or is there something actually happening, then monthly reports are needed. But at this point in time, I thought that monthly reports were overkill. So that's why the recommendation is for reports on an as-needed basis. So that's the reason behind that. But otherwise, Mohammed or James, anything to add?
Not a lot. I just want to say that with Walkerville Terrace upgrades, and that is the amenities upgrade, considering that we would be very busy on the next year, after January, February is when I see that we will be very heavily focused into sports club. So I believe it's a good opportunity that we prioritize those amenities work, like, this side of the financial year. So as such, we intend to start workshopping with council from June, although budget would be adopted late in June, but we can start working on those, and hopefully we will schedule a walk on the terrace as well, just so that we could have a look at those amenities and get a better understanding and get going, because this is one project that we could achieve now, just so that there's plenty of time after Christmas, and then we can focus more on the sports club project. That's all, thank you.
I just think we should contact Theo Maris and sort of keep him in the loop, make it clear to him we're still interested and still like his input when we get around to it.
Yeah, absolutely, we can do that.
Thank you. Any other questions? Councillor Williams.
If I could just ask a question, and I don't know the answer to this, but the area where the businesses that are operating in Woolworths on the southern side, that basically have their backs turned and walk the terrace, that don't do anything to activate that street. Is there any agreement or anything with Woolworths that gives them the right to use that space, or is that space able to, for instance, would council be able to give licences for pop-ups or anything like that along that space? Originally, with the last street upgrade, the footpaths were widened specifically so there would be on-street trading as part of Woolworths. That development actually pushed for that, and now, of course, we don't see it activated at all, which is probably one of the real downsides to Walkerville Terrace.
Yep.
That stretch. So I'd just be interested to know
Yep.
if we can.
Through the chair, so we had a meeting with the centre management about 3-4 weeks ago, and we did raise that point that it would be nice if the frontage could be used, and if there is a further mix, they could consider more retail mix. So the answer was that already those venues have been leased out, and there's not much they can do. They did raise a point that because the facilities, the toilets, and all of those are towards the inside, the other end, not towards the Walkerville Terrace, but towards the inside of the centre. That's one of the reasons that businesses don't want to open up towards the Walkerville Terrace side. So that's the preference of the shop owners to have their frontage inside the centre and not outside. The chemist was one example where they had for some time open towards the Walkerville Terrace, but now they have reconfigured and they've got the prescription counter at that side now, and they are just using the inner side. So that was the answer from centre management, that there was no appetite by those retail or by those shop owners or businesses to open up on the Walkerville Terrace side. So that's in regards to that. The other one, pop-up businesses, it's council land basically, and if the council wish to move something along pop-ups, absolutely we could do that.
So essentially the businesses are not using that space.
No, they're not. They don't have any intention.
Permits anyway that council's entitled to, even though it's probably under the, I guess the veranda forms part of the Woolworths structure. So.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Councillor Cole.
Thank you. Well, just noticed the new roundabout on the corner of the Smith Street and the Walkerville Terrace. Is that the new work has been done over there? And was that the part of the major project?
No, through the chair. So there was basically a truck that went over the roundabout and knocked down the signs and all the infrastructure over there. So that's why we are just renewing or replacing what was already there.
Okay. It looks new.
Yes, it is new.
Any other questions on the report? Okay, I'll look for someone to move the report. Motion then. Thank you. Councillor Vanstone, seconded by Councillor Zeppel. All those in favour? That's carried. Okay, move to item 16, information reports, and 16.1, monthly works report, April 2026. James, anything to add?
Really, Chair, nothing to be out of the ordinary. We are starting our street tree planting program, so residents will shortly get some notice about if they are getting a new tree out the front. There's some information on a planting day that's coming up later in the year along the River Torrens, and also the 3P parking signage is now installed on the Walkerville Terrace.
Any questions on this report? Okay, is there a mover? Thank you, Councillor Vanstone, seconded by Councillor Williams. All those in favour? That's carried. Item 16.2, monthly financial report, April 2026. Mohammed, anything to add?
Nothing further to add, Mayor. Thank you.
Any questions on this report?
I'll move.
Thank you. Councillor Williams has moved that and Councillor Corr has seconded. All those in favour? Carried. Item 16.3, community survey 2026 report. I don't know if there's any questions on it. It's pretty self-explanatory and we've had a workshop. Is there a mover? Councillor Zeppel, seconded by Councillor Allenson. All those in favour? That is carried. And as we have no confidential items at item 17, I will close the meeting at 7:24. We're back to